Alright, what's up YouTube? We're back in Saskatoon. We're here with
Gerald.
And he just got back from Calgary Regionals and he got
4th place.
So, how are you feeling?
Pretty good. First regional in 4 years in Calgary, so it's felt good to go back home because I'm from there.
Yeah.
To represent Saskatoon and kick ass.
Hell yeah. What are we playing?
Let's play Mekk-Knight Invoked. It's my favorite deck in the meta right now. Personally, I don't like Pendulum at all. People at my locals know that. I didn't have the money for Dracos, and I had the Invoked core, so
why not?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's just get right into it.
I did a different build than what people kind of post online, because neg 9s sometimes I don't like to do.
Yeah.
So obviously the staples, I did 3 Mekk-Knight purple, because purple is the best. Blue sky is really nice, obviously for searching. Also the staples 3. I did 1 red moon and 1 indigo.
Okay.
Just the one-ofs, just for names. He comes up very, to me, he came up very little. At the event, he didn't come up at all. Just the name.
It's nice to have, though.
Can't play Invoke Mekk-Knight without Alistair. So obviously self-explanatory. And then my opponent cannot play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Whoa, this is so sick.
So,
ooh, 9 hand traps, but no, not the Drolls.
Drolls were in the side. I found Electromite. Doesn't like this card. Obviously, doesn't like this card.
Yeah.
But these two hit most of the decks, except for Pendulum so much. And Veiler hits. Honestly, this came up insanely a lot, so it helped. Alright, that was my monster count, so there's 20 monsters. So 20 spells, 20 monsters, so this card should not be at 3, the card.
This card is broken. How many times did you get this off turn 1? Turn 2.
This card won me almost every game.
Yeah.
Especially against my Dino matchups, because I like their conductors being Mekaba.
How do you like stealing board with this?
Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful. Stealing Masterpiece was beautiful with this card. I'll bring that up right away here. I did a mini spellbook core. I found this at 2 was bad. Blue Boy was slow. 2 knowledge was fine. If I couldn't use it, they were good set fodder, so it was nice. 2 more Alistairs. I did not play 3 because you can't set this for your Mekk-Knight plays. So I found, and you don't want to have that many. It's nice having Alistair in hand, but when you play the other 3 Alistairs, you can set these and you use them that way. You don't have to play your terraforming.
That makes sense, and those are secrets.
Yeah, and I finished the set while I was there, so it was nice. Now, this is where it gets a little different. I did 3 scapegoats.
Yeah.
A lot of people, it has play tested poor in Mekk-Knight. It has. I'm not going to say it's the best card in Mekk-Knight, but this card is fantastic in Mekk-Knight.
Yeah.
It's defensive. Auto start user board load is hey. I like free link force. And this card, it's so good and should not be at 3, but it's so good. And I did not run Desires because of this card. Because Pot of Desires, the card's great. I'm not saying it's not, but during testing at locals, I did pretty good with the Desires build I had. But when I decided to switch to Scapegoats, I felt the deck got better. I didn't banish key pieces. I didn't lose enough stuff. So it was good thanks to Goats.
That's interesting, actually. I mean, that card's just so broken right now in the format.
Exactly.
Free monsters. Too good.
And because I wasn't playing Desires, I only did 2 invocations.
Okay.
Rip my ultis because they're not here yet. Because I wasn't doing Desires, I didn't need to hard see this as much. At Regionals, it did my last round 7, I played against my last opponent. If I didn't hard draw this once, I was gonna lose. But I did hard draw it, and I'll get to why I won because of that. I love Instant Fusion. I was on the fence with cutting it, but it worked out in the end, and I kept it, and it won me lots of games. And then rounded up the one-ofs.
Yeah.
Blow my opponent up, and
why not?
Have a card's good. I did side this card out a lot.
Yeah.
In going first, I cut this because, to be honest, it wasn't needed.
Exactly.
So that was the main deck. So my side, extra deck, my boy Staryuja, I made this card so much, and no one Veilered it, no one Ash Blossomed it. It was great.
So it got off every time.
It did its job. It gave me 4 cards. Guy Saver. Now, I ran this over Decode Talker. This card is really good because you can use Scapegoats with it. you can turn.
Oh, okay.
Because it only takes monsters, and he's fat. He's fatter than Decode Talker, unless obviously he's got arrows. He's not, but
yeah.
Because of the fact that I didn't have to. I can use the goats to make my Guy Saber. It was really nice. If I had a Mekk-Knight, I didn't need, or an extra card I needed out, he came up like a lot. And the fact his arrow is down helped immensely.
That is actually really smart. I respect that.
And this card beat my dinosaurs, so it's pretty sweet.
So like, I guess like you'd probably go into this more like when it's your second scapegoat going off, right?
Yeah. Second goats gave me the Guy Saber, unless situation called for it.
Yeah.
Like skill drain.
Okay.
Boarload. Self-explanatory. Card's busted.
Card is these two cards right here are the just most broken cards in the game right now.
And our firewall's limited, but these aren't, right?
Yeah.
Granted, you don't run more than one. Firewall's a loop.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Skuldred will get there. Skuldred will get there.
World Chalice. Underclock Taker. He didn't come up a lot, but he's Underclock Taker. He's pretty good. He can clutch you a game because of that shrink, or bait out, which is funny. Bait out Ogre. That happened. Link Rebo for the Scapegoat, Radiant for Scapegoat, Proxy. This card is funny. He's also for Scapegoat, or if I needed to deal with... I didn't want to make Underclock Taker because of life points, and he is a little fatter, and he did come up in a stun game I went in. And he didn't win me the game, but it was just funny. Link Spider, also tokens, self-explanatory. So that was my link setup. Now into fusion, so instant fusion target, 1,000 eyes. 1,000 eyes, he sets my lanes if I need it. Gets rid of problem, baits a hand trap. He did his work. His work was kind of.
I like that actually.
You know what?
I ran one Purgatrio.
What's he at?
He was only good, like obviously for my Pendulum matchup, because Purgatrio hates Pendulums as much as I do. So he ended their lives, and it's what he did. Did really good. So I ran this in the event. Triple Mekk-Knight.
Okay.
I don't have the third one anymore because I got rid of it. Because by the end of the event, I realized I did not need the third one, like at all. Like, if I got to my second Mekk-Knight, usually I was in enough of a grind that I won or I lost. It never came up.
Really came up.
I did have a third in case, but it never came up. Raging for the instant fusion, and in case someone drolled me and I had the instant invocation.
Okay.
He won me a game against Dracos because of the field spell, and then. The last card I added in literally the night before was the rock one. He did so much work for me, and I'm so glad I put him in.
And he's the non-effect monster, right?
Yeah, he's just a beat stick that wins games. So yeah, that was that. And then for my sideboard, I did 2 Artifact Lancias for the mirror match and kind of the ABCs. I didn't play against Mekk-Knight at all, so I didn't side him in at all. So it wasn't. Beach Balls for the Pendulums, and in case I came across World Chalice, also never sided him in because they honestly, I don't know, I just never did. Double Cyclones, Dracos was very popular in Calgary.
Can I take that?
And so Iz came in a few times, but I never. Usually when I sided, I never saw it, but it was nice when I did. Called by the Grave. I sided this a few times, never saw it, but in my Shadal Dino matchup, this card was hilarious. I kept banishing Winda. It was funny.
That is good.
And the guy couldn't believe I was doing that. I was like, hey. It's called by the Grave. Double Gamma Seal. Obviously for my Draco matchups or the Pendulum Board Breaker because it's Gamma Seal. And then Triple Droll. He only went in during my Draco matchup and my Pendulum matchups. I usually took out the Veilers for the Dracos because Veiler does nothing for him. It came up once. Other than that, it was just nice. And then to finish up, 2 Evenlies. Card wrecks boards. That's what it does.
Pretty self-explanatory. The card's busted too.
My deck's built to wreck boards, but this card helps it along the way. So that was my deck. So for my matchups, first one I went against Dracos. I 2-0'd them because of Invoked Raging. Basically, so my opponent decided to make a masterpiece that was trap spell immunity. We all been there. It sucks when it happens. So because of that, I had Meltdown out. He didn't pop it with masterpiece, which is sweet. So I instant fusioned into him, and immediately on his resolution, I set the masterpiece, and he couldn't respond to it. So he put it down. I regeki'd, tabled him.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. So that's cool.
And then game 2, he got really nervous and he tributed a masterpiece on my turn. I was spell monster immune, so I had the mind control. Took it, made him Akaba. He had no cards in hand. He had a diagram on the field, so I just attacked. He went to his turn, top decks spell. I negate it. Game. Round 2, I went against Lost World Dinosaurs. I beat them 2-1. Game 1, he went rabbit. I ashed it.
Yeah.
And he made kind of just fell. I went off of the OTK. He won. Game 2, he got the Lost World up, and I couldn't handle it. He kept swarming up. I didn't get an out to the token generation, so he just beat me down. Game 3, same thing. I ashed his rabbit. And he just
pretty much scooped up at that point.
He just done. I just beat him. It was kind of sacky. So round 3, I went against that Inspector Border Stun. I honestly thought that was my worst matchup, and it was. Because round 1, I lost game 1 because he got the border out, made the Fossil Dino, feels I couldn't out it.
Just couldn't out it.
Just died. Game 3, he gets Thunder King and sets 2 back row. I'm like, alright, draw, threw mind control at it. He bribed me. I draw mind control off the bribe. I'm like, I'm taking your Thunder King. I then proceed to just melt my field out and just beat him. Game 3, he just bricked, like, bad. And I just, and then he set up like enough stuff, and I was like, alright, draw evenly. Scoop.
Yeah.
Round 4, this is where I took my first loss. I played against Mekk-Knight Dracos. It's the first time I've ever seen that deck, and it showed that I'd never seen that deck. He just walled me twice. If game 1 was a grind, but I couldn't out the masterpiece. And then number 2, I got to top decking.
Yeah, I mean, it's always rough when you see those decks. You just don't know what to do, like where to stop them. So, yeah, I understand that.
Game 2, he got me top decking. If I top deck with this deck, I lose. It's shown that I don't win very well.
Yeah.
Round 5, I went against Dino Shadal. First game, he just made a Dolka and sat on it, and I thought, okay. I again, field spell, raging, went off, killed him. When it came to siding, I didn't know if it was what kind of dinosaur deck he was playing, so I just sided kind of normally. And then game 2, he just showed me all the shitballs, and I was like, okay. And that's when I did my Call of the Grave shenanigans, but he outgrinded me with Conductor Tyranno, and I lost. Then game 3, Ash the Rabbit.
Yeah.
Done. I was surprised he saw the rabbit.
Ash, you always had that Ash or the rabbit, eh?
He shocked me, but he told me he sided out of the Shadal engine a lot when he did that, and I was like, oh wow, right, cool. Round 6, I went against Dracos again. Game 1, he anti-spelled Masterpiece controlled me, and that sucked.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it is what it is, but... game 2, he didn't see Masterpiece, so I win.
Yeah.
And then game 3, he just bricked super bad, and I just won. And unfortunately, he was pretty upset about it, but still topped, actually. And then round 7, this is my favorite matchup. I 2-0'd Pendulum Magicians. Game 1, I had, he plays the Chronograph Sorcerer, I Ash it, and he's like, ooh, and then he gets the Electromite, I Valor it, and he's like, oh, he kind of makes somewhat of a board.
Yeah.
My turn, Purgatrio, the end. Game 2, he kind of goes off, but I Ashed the Chronograph Sorcerer, which actually really hurt him, but he was able to end his field with, Astrograph Sorcerer, Hope Harbinger, and the Electromite. Now, so I said in my deck there, I opened an Invocation. I summoned an Alistair, got another Invocation, and then I was able to swarm. He gave me, for some reason, he did double column, so I was able to spam the Mekk-Knights. And then I played Invocation. He negated, played my other one, Purgatrio.
And this is game 3, you said?
This is game 2.
Or game 2.
It just ended him. And he was just unbelievable. I OTK'd him twice. And that made me happy because, again, I don't like that deck. I always for some reason, personally, I go bad against every time.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that got me my top.
Yeah.
So, got my nice mat, my pink back box, and that was the deck.
All right, well, congratulations on your top, and we'll see you at Matt's.